Pringle.
Thank you, Láscain Corla. Firstly, Láscain Corla, I want to thank the hard work and informed research carried out by members of the chairperson of the 8th Amendment Committee over the course of 4 arduous months. It couldn't have been easy and the burden was huge, but we are grateful that the committee members have done the groundwork to enable a constructive, respectful debate on the issue of abortion in this country. The outcome of the Citizens' Assembly and Committee proved that once armed with informed research and information and personal accounts of people's experiences, the compassionate support for the right of women to access abortion reveals itself overwhelmingly. I also believe that people are ready to engage on this issue, and I am hopeful that the majority of the public will support the repeal. There is a narrative in the media that this committee report was extreme in its liberalisation of abortion provision in this country. While I am supportive of the 8th Amendment Committee recommendations, I believe it doesn't go far enough, and I am disappointed that unrestricted abortion provision only goes to 12 weeks. I believe that legislation should provide for access to abortion after 12 weeks on broader grounds. My reason for this is that once we start introducing restrictions, inevitably someone will fall through the cracks, and term limits inevitably become political and moral barriers which end up affecting those most vulnerable. We need to acknowledge that every situation is unique and that we should support women no matter what choice they make about their bodies. For me, it's a fundamental human right for someone to enjoy bodily autonomy, but right now in this country, only men can enjoy this right. I want to remind the House that the effects of the 8th Amendment are all persuasive. The amendment is restrictive to women on a number of fronts, including access to sexual health information due to the Regulation of Information Act 1995, the issue of consent through the provision of maternity care, not to mention the fact that the amendment has accounted for one of the strictest abortion regimes in the world. The committee are strong in emphasising that all women should have equal access to improved healthcare services, including basic services such as scanning and testing, and that these be made available irrespective of geographic location or socio-economic circumstances. All these services help to inform women to make the best choice for them, and this can only be a positive step for our society. However, this will be a resources issue, and I would encourage the Government to devise a national strategy which would see improved access to reproductive services for all women and girls, including better sexual health and relationship education, family planning services, contraception and free contraception for medical card holders, perinatal hospice care, counselling and support services, and termination of pregnancy if required, because they are all vitally important and in every part of this country. Not only have we denied women the right to healthcare in this country, we have also denied the existence of abortion. Abortion is a fact of life, and it always will be a fact of life. We just have to look at the statistics. Between January 1980 and December 2016, at least 170,000 women and girls have travelled from the Republic of Ireland to access abortion services in another country. In 2016, 3,265 women and girls gave Irish addresses to UK abortion services. A 2016 report shows that 1,642 abortion pill packages were sent to Ireland in the 3-year period between 2010 and 2012, and that was just by a single provider. And these are the facts, and we all have the stories and know stories of people and know people who have supported women onto planes to go to England to avail of services that should have been available here in this country. An interesting fact, and one that struck a chord with me, was that 70% of Irish women who seek an abortion in the UK are in a relationship, while over half of them already have children. And that's from One Day More advocacy group in the UK. And we have to accept that life is complex, and we need to face that complexity by supporting people who make difficult life choices. I would like to acknowledge the committee's comment that the state should provide specific resources so that there are social supports for carers and better facilities for people whose children have specific needs. I also believe people with disabilities should be supported so that they can lead a life of dignity and respect. It is not a fair argument to equate abortion provision and disability-selective abortions because, again, each situation is unique, and I, for one, support women whatever choice they make. Women's bodies should not be used to address the stigma around disability. Rather, this is the job of the government to make sure that society treats all its people equally, regardless of disability, and separate debate is much needed. However, it does not belong here. Do not forget that people with disabilities are also affected by the 8th Amendment, which restricts their own rights to bodily autonomy and family planning. Ultimately, the Constitution provides no legal sense and was inserted as a political weapon at the time of the referendum. For 34 years, the Eighth Amendment has been inherently ambiguous in its meaning and scope, and the courts have not been able to fully clarify its content. I want to end with a quote from the National Women's Council of Ireland, that the person who can best protect and nurture a developing life is the pregnant woman herself, not lawyers, not judges, and not even the Constitution. Thank you.
Wallace.
Speech.